On a crisp May evening in 2025, Karoline Leavitt and her husband, Nicholas, stepped into a bustling upscale restaurant in Washington, D.C., seeking a quiet dinner after a long week. Karoline, a young White House press secretary known for her resilience, felt a rare moment of peace beside Nicholas, whose steady presence grounded her amid political storms. But as they settled into their table, the manager, a stern figure with a clipboard, marched over, his voice cutting through the hum. "I'm sorry, but your views don't align with our values," he declared, gesturing toward the door. Shocked, Karoline and Nicholas exchanged a glance, their meal interrupted by an expulsion that stung with public humiliation. The couple stepped outside, the cool air a sharp contrast to the warmth they'd expected. Karoline, usually unflappable, felt a pang of vulnerability. Here was a reminder of the divide she navigated daily. Nicholas squeezed her hand, his quiet strength a lifeline. Instead of anger, a flicker of compassion stirred in her. She noticed a homeless man shivering nearby, clutching a worn blanket. "Let's help him," she whispered, her voice soft but determined. They pooled their cash, meant for dinner, and handed it over, along with a promise to return with more. The man's tearful gratitude lit a spark in Karoline's heart, a reminder of humanity beyond politics. Then came the twist. 7 minutes after their exit, a deafening crash echoed from the restaurant. Peering back, they saw chaos. Ceiling beams had collapsed, trapping diners in a cloud of dust. Emergency lights flashed as firefighters rushed in, and Karoline's breath caught. Had they stayed, they might not have survived. The realization hit her like a wave. Their expulsion, though unjust, had saved them. Nicholas pulled her close, whispering, "Maybe this was meant to be." In that moment, she understood, sometimes life's cruelties pave the way for unseen blessings. The emotional climax unfolded as Karoline, driven by gratitude and empathy, sprang into action. She rallied bystanders, organizing a makeshift aid station with blankets and water from a nearby store. Nicholas, despite his introverted nature, used his real estate connections to secure a temporary shelter for the displaced. Together, they worked tirelessly, their act of kindness for the homeless man now extending to the injured. A young waiter, rescued from the rubble, approached Karoline, tears in his eyes. "You didn't have to help us after what happened," he said. "But you did." Her response was simple, "We're all human." The community rallied, donations poured in, and the restaurant's owner, moved by their selflessness, offered to rebuild with inclusivity in mind. As dawn broke over D.C., Karoline and Nicholas stood amid the recovery effort, exhaustion mingling with hope. The homeless man they'd aided returned, now with a warm meal, thanking them again. "You gave me more than money," he said. "You gave me dignity." Karoline smiled, her heart full, knowing this night had transformed her perspective. The restaurant's fall, once a symbol of rejection, became a testament to resilience and unity. News spread across the USA, inspiring others to acts of kindness. From Ohio to California, this story leaves a heartwarming message. In the face of adversity, compassion can turn strangers into saviors and divisions into bridges. It's a call to see the humanity in every soul, to give without expecting, and to find hope even when the ground shakes beneath us, a universal truth that resonates from D.C. to the world. The story of Karoline and Nicholas reveals a profound truth about the human spirit. Even in moments of rejection and division, acts of compassion can ignite a ripple effect that transcends barriers and rebuilds communities. Their experience teaches us that kindness is not a reaction to fairness. It's a choice we make, even when the world feels unjust. When Karoline and Nicholas were expelled from the restaurant, they could have retreated into bitterness, nursing their wounded pride. Instead, they chose to extend a hand to a stranger in need, a homeless man whose gratitude reminded them of their shared humanity. This selfless act, though small, set the stage for a larger transformation, proving that the seeds of generosity often bloom in unexpected ways. The collapse of the restaurant, a mere 7 minutes after their exit, underscores a humbling lesson. Life's hardships can be the very catalysts for our survival and growth. Had they stayed, they might have been among the injured, or worse. Yet, in that moment of chaos, Karoline and Nicholas didn't turn away. They leaned into the crisis, organizing aid, offering comfort, and showing that true strength lies not in personal triumph, but in collective care. Their actions remind us that adversity often reveals our purpose, pushing us to rise above our own pain to lift others. In a world quick to divide, whether by politics, status, or belief, their story calls us to bridge those gaps with empathy, recognizing that every person, from a struggling press secretary to a homeless man on the street, carries a story worth honoring. Perhaps the most enduring lesson lies in the aftermath. The community's response, donations, shelter, and a renewed commitment to inclusivity, shows how one act of kindness can inspire a movement. Karoline's simple words, "We're all human," became a rallying cry, echoing across the USA and beyond, from bustling D.C. to quiet towns in Ohio. It's a reminder that our shared humanity is our greatest asset, a force that can heal wounds, rebuild what's broken, and create a legacy of hope. The restaurant's fall became a metaphor for tearing down walls of exclusion, making way for a foundation built on unity and understanding. For a global audience, especially in the USA where divisions often run deep, this story offers a beacon of hope. No matter how fractured the world seems, we each hold the power to mend it through selflessness. It challenges us to look beyond our own struggles, to give without expecting return, and to find strength in the connections we forge. Whether it's a warm meal for a stranger, a helping hand in crisis, or a willingness to forgive, these acts of humanity can transform not just individual lives, but entire communities. Karoline and Nicholas's journey leaves us with a call to action: be the light in someone's darkness, and watch how that light spreads, illuminating the world one compassionate deed at a time.